Hi, I'm Sir Dash Masong. Welcome to my licensure exam for teachers review, General Education Part 9. Let's start. Gen Ed 41, Social Science, Philippine Constitution, Citizenship. According to the 1987 Philippine Constitution, who are considered natural-born citizens? A. Those who are born in the Philippines to foreign parents. B. Those who are naturalized through court proceedings. C. Those who are citizens of the Philippines from birth without having to perform any act to acquire or perfect their citizenship. Or D. Those who are born to Filipino parents but chose foreign citizenship. Again, according to the 1987 Philippine Constitution, who are considered natural-born citizens? A. Those who are born in the Philippines to foreign parents. B. Those who are naturalized through court proceedings. C. Those who are citizens of the Philippines from birth without having to perform any act to acquire or perfect their citizenship. Or D. Those who are born to Filipino parents but chose foreign citizenship. Pause this video and try to answer it on your own. Go! Alright, the correct answer is letter C. Medyo madali lang to, no? Okay, ano nga ba yung sinasabi sa 1987 Philippine Constitution? According to this, yung natural-born citizens are those who are citizens of the Philippines from birth without needing to take any oath or perform any act to acquire or perfect their citizenship. Ano yung mga kasama dito? Yung mga children born to at least one Filipino parent regardless of where they are born. Yung naturalized citizens are those who were born as foreign nationals but later became Filipino citizens through legal proceedings, kagaya ng court petition. Alright, bakit mali yung ABD? Kasi itong letter A, kaya ito mali kasi being born in the Philippines does not automatically make someone a natural-born citizen. Citizenship follows the principle of bloodline under the Philippine law, hindi place of birth. Letter B, mali rin kasi naturalized citizens are not natural-born. They acquired citizenship through legal process, not by birth. Yung letter D naman kaya ito mali kasi if a natural-born Filipino chooses foreign citizenship and legally renounces Filipino citizenship, they are no longer considered a Filipino citizen unless they reacquire it. That's it. See you sa next session. God bless. Gen Ed 42, English, Grammar, Modifiers. After finishing the final exam, the bell rang loudly. What is the error in this sentence? A. Subject-verb agreement error. B. Dangling modifier. C. Misplaced modifier. Or D. Parallel structure error. Again, after finishing the final exam, the bell rang loudly. What is the error in this sentence? A. Subject-verb agreement error. B. Dangling modifier. C. Misplaced modifier. Or D. Parallel structure error. Go! Pause this video and try to answer it on your own. Alright, the correct answer is letter B, dangling modifier. Baka may mga sumagot ng misplaced modifier. Tingnan natin bakit nga ba dangling yung tama. I-recall natin yung modifiers. Yung dangling modifier is a word or phrase that modifies a subject that is not clearly stated in the sentence. Leaving the modifier, dangling nga parang nakabitin without a logical target. Let's analyze yung sentence. Sa sentence na to, yung phrase na after finishing the final exam, yung modifier. But it has no clear subject na para bang sinasabi dito na the bell finished the exam. Illogical naman yun, So, paano aayusin to? To fix this, the sentence should clearly state who finished the exam. Example, parang ganito. After finishing the final exam, the students heard the bell ring loudly. Alright, ano naman yung misplaced modifier? Baka ito yung sagot ng iba. Yung misplaced modifier occurs when the subject exists but is placed too far from the word it modifies. Kaya nga siya misplaced. Alright, bakit mali yung ACD? Subject-verb agreement, error, kaya ito mali ay dahil yung subject dito na bell, it agrees naman with the verb rang. So, hindi naman issue yung subject-verb agreement. Again, yung letter C, misplaced modifier, nabanggit ko nga kanina, Yung misplaced modifier has a subject but it is placed incorrectly. So in the sentence, wala kasing clear na logical subject at all, ano? So, hindi to misplaced, kundi dangling. Letter D, yung parallel structure error. I hope naalala nyo pa ito. Yung issue naman ng parallel structure, if ever meron, ito yung meron kang list ng items. Ano? So, when items in a list are not in the same grammatical form. For example, reading, writing, and to paint. Ano? So, dapat painting. Wala naman ditong list or series, kaya hindi rin issue yung parallelism. So, the correct answer is letter B. That's it. See you sa next session. God bless. Gen Ed 43, Mathematics, Decimals, Addition. What is the sum of 12.75, 8.60, and 5.25? A. 25.60, B. 26.50, C. 26.60, or D. 27.60? Again, what is the sum of 12.75, 8.60, and 5.25? A. 25.60, B. 26.50, C. 26.60, or D. 27.60? Pause this video and try to answer it on your own. Go! Alright, the correct answer is letter C, 26.60. Okay, math problem. If you know the advanced method, ayun yung gamitin mo para makatipid ka ng time. So, paano nga ba ginagawa ito? So first, tuturo ko yung step-by-step solution para dun sa nag-i-struggle pa sa math. Ano? So first, write the given decimals in a correct order. Ano? So paano yon? By column, aligning the decimal points. Example ito, 12.75 plus 8.60 plus 5.25. Next, I hope naalala nyo pa yung adding decimals. Add the numbers column by column. So magsimula ka sa hundredths place, yung 5 plus 0 plus 5. So the answer is 10. So write 0, then carry 1 to the 10th place. So magiging 7 plus 6 plus 2 plus 1 yung kinary mo. So that's 16. So write 6, carry 1 to the 1's place. So 1's place naman, you have 2 plus 8 plus 5 plus 1 yung nakakarry. So that's 16. So write 6, carry 1 ulit dun sa 10's place naman. So that's 1 plus 1. So that is equal to 2. So the final answer would be 26.60. I hope mag-practice kayo kasi mahirap kapag hindi ka nakapag-practice masyado sa math and mararattle ka talaga doon, maubusan ka ng time pag nag-exam ka. Ayan, pwede mong i-review ulit ito at mag-review pa ng other decimal questions baka sakaling lumabas. That's it. See you sa next session. God bless. Gen Ed 44. Science, Chemistry, States of Matter. What is the process by which a solid changes directly into a gas without passing through the liquid state? A. Condensation, B. Deposition, C. Evaporation, or D. Sublimation? Again, what is the process by which a solid changes directly into a gas without passing through the liquid state? A. Condensation, B. Deposition, C. Evaporation, or D. Sublimation? Pause this video and try to answer it on your own. Go! Alright, the correct answer is letter D, sublimation. Sana naalala nyo pa yung mga phase change, no? Alright, i-recall natin. Yung sublimation, ito yung process by which a solid changes directly into a gas without passing through the liquid state. Yung common example nun ay yung dry ice. Yung dry ice ay solid carbon dioxide which turns directly into carbon dioxide gas at room temperature. Ano pa yung usual na example dito ni teacher? Yung naphthalene ball, yung mothball, sa sublimation din yon from solid to gas. Alright, bakit mali itong A, B, C? Kasi yung condensation, ito yung process by which a gas changes into a liquid. Example, yung water vapor forming dew, di ba? Yung deposition naman, ito yung reverse ng sublimation. Ito yung a gas changing directly into a solid. Example nun yung frost forming on a cold surface. Yung evaporation naman, ito yung process by which a liquid changes into a gas. Example, yung boiling ng water. So that's it. See you sa next session. God bless. Gen Ed 45, Filipino, Gramatika, Pang-uri. Ang batang babae ay blank at masayahin. Anong pang-uri ang angkop na gamitin sa patlang? A. Matalino, B. Matalinong, C. Matalinot, or D. Matalino na. Again, ang batang babae ay patlang at masayahin. Anong pang-uri ang angkop na gamitin sa patlang? A. Matalino, B. Matalinong, C. Matalinot, or D. Matalino na. Pause this video and try to answer it on your own. Go! Alright, the correct answer is letter A, matalino. Okay, yung iba siguro nadalian lang dito. Pero para sa mga nahihirapan at nalilito sa Filipino, i-recall natin paano nga ba ito sagutin. Okay, sa pangungusap na ito, yung salitang at, yung pangatnig, ay ginagamit upang pag-ugnayin ang dalawang pang-uri. Okay, sa sentence, meron ka ng word na at. So, hindi na kailangan ng karagdagang pang-angkop o pananda. Ang wastong anyo ng pang-uri ay ang payak nitong anyo na matalino na naglalarawan sa pangalang batang babae. Okay. Bakit mali yung B, C, and D? Kasi yung matalinong, itong word na may matalinong, may NG, ay ginagamit lamang kapag ang pang-uri ay direktang sumusunod sa isang pangalan sa subject. For example, matalinong mag-aaral. So, hindi ito angkop kapag may at na nag-uugnay ng dalawang pang-uri. Yung matalinot naman, yung letter C, ay ginagamit kapag ang susunod na salita ay nagsisimula sa patinig, yung vowels na A, E, I, O, U. At walang at na nag-uugnay. Dito may word ka na at, no? So mali yung letter C. Yung letter D naman, matalino na, ay hindi natural na gamitin sa ganitong pangungusap. Karaniwan itong ginagamit kapag may paghahambing o diin. An example nun, siya ay matalino na. So, parang ganon. So, hindi ito bilang pang-uri na kasabay ng masayahin. That's it. See you sa next session. God bless. Hashtag, sana makatulong. If you want a free digital copy of this reviewer, pinamimigay ko po ng libre. How? Just comment on this video, free reviewer, and I will send you the link. And for more reviewers, please feel free to visit my social media account, Sir Dash Academy. Available sa YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. I suggest punta ka sa YouTube. Hanapin mo sa playlist. Again, sa playlist, kinompile ko lahat ng reviewers doon. Lahat ng reviewers for the licensure exam for teachers, especially this year. So, gumawa rin ako doon ng playlist na specific for Prof Ed, for Gen Ed, and for specialization. Hanapin mo na lang. That's it. See you sa next session. God bless!